Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to day 3. Today we are going to go back to being girly, and I'm going to scrapbook a photo of myself. So I'm using my October How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, and I'm going to be using all of the phrases, all the gorgeous, amazing, super cute phrases that occur in the Boy Mom stamp set. So I'm just marking where my photo is going to go, and I'm going to put it in the top of the layout. And then I'm going to use some candy cane spritz from Shimmers, and I'm just going to go ahead and splatter all of the color. And actually I'm going to do this twice because I do it initially and then I decide that it needs a little bit more. And after I go ahead and splatter some of this out, I'm going to set it aside so it dries thoroughly, and we're going to get to creating our stamped elements for this layout. Oh, but first I'm going to map my photo. So these are all scrap papers. These are just scraps of paper. All of the products I'm using, with the exception of a couple, which I'll tell you about as I use them, is all Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And these are, if you watched my How to Kill a Kit with Style video, you know, like, these are just all scraps and little partial pieces of embellishments and sticker sheets and different things. And so I took all of those scraps and I just matted them behind my photo, and they were really small scraps. But they worked, and they worked really well. So I'm going to use these letters, and I'm going to spell out I am, and that's going to be my title. My title is going to be I Am a Boy Mom, and so I thought that would be really cute. I'm going to fidget a little bit with these letters, and then when I get them on the page, I feel like I want them to pop just a tiny bit more. Not too much, but just a tiny bit more. And I'm going to do that with my Tombow this is my twin tone markers. Okay, so these are twin tone markers. I use these a lot in my planner, more so than really on scrapbook layouts. So I'm just giving them a pink outline. And this layout we're going to do today, if you did it, I think, in any other color, it would be jarring, and it would be hugely busy. But what we're going to do is, because we are going to use a really kind of muted, soft pastel color palette, it's going to make it work. And I think this layout turned out so cute and fun. I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead, and my next stop is to add some little sequins. These are the Pick Your Plum sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and you will see them again. They're going to make it back on this layout a little bit more. But for now, they're just going to act as the little dots, like dot, that you see before we're going to go ahead now and do our stamping. So when I want to stamp on a scrapbook layout, I do all of the stamping all at the same time. I get my stamp platform out one time, and I just stamp everything that I think I want on my layout. Even if there are things I'm not 100% sure about, I stamp them anyway. So a couple of these phrases are going to end up on my layout, and then you're going to see what I'm going to do with a couple of the other ones. My inks today are all Ulta inks. They are from, let me see if I pulled all of my pink and kind of aqua-y shades out, and I think the colors are Coral Bliss, Blush, Frosty Pink, and Valencia Lake. So those are the colors if you're interested. I am stamping the one that says Chaos Coordinator down to the bottom, and I'm stamping that one twice, once with the Coral Bliss and then once again with the Frosty Pink, just to kind of give it like a little ghosting type image. And then I'm going to take this one that says #outnumbered. Now, for everybody who wonders why I rub stamps on my arm, I pulled this one off. This is the first time I'm stamping with it. I pulled this one off. I didn't rub it on my arm. I stamped it twice, and I did not get a great impression, which for this particular layout would not be the end of the world. Wasn't the end of the world. It was okay. I rolled with it. But it is part of my title. So when you see the close-up of my title at the end here, take notice to how that stamp kind of like didn't stamp so good. And that will tell you why. That's why. When I get a brand new stamp, it's the first time I'm using it, I rub it on my arm. It just does something. Some girls I've seen, they rub like an eraser on their stamp, right? So, you know, and that's a perfectly fine thing to do too. I learned that trick of rubbing it on my arm from Crafty Jen Scow, and it works. It's quick, it's easy, you always have an arm. But if you wonder why I do that, just take a look at that close-up at the end of the Outnumbered, and you'll see. So I have all these labels, and then I have all of these adorable kind of small-sized sentiments. And for my scrapbookers out there, you know, like you get all of these labels sometimes, cut-apart sheet labels, labels for in scrapbook ephemera pieces, and sometimes you're just kind of like, I don't know what to put here, right? And so these little stamps, these little phrase stamps that are included in the Boy Mom stamp set, they're different sizes, and they work so well in these little label stamps or these little label pieces that you often receive in scrapbook kits or collections. So I'm stamping bunches of them. I think I stamped everything that would be appropriate to what I was scrapbooking about, which is my life as a boy mom. And I just stamped all the labels, and then I'm going to fussy cut them. Well, I let them dry a little bit. Always let your inking dry a little bit, because depending on the type of ink you have, depending on the color of ink, you know, whether it's dye or whether it's a pigment ink or whether, you know, if you're a scrapbooker and you're just getting into stamping and you don't know a whole lot about inks, just stamp it and put it aside, walk away, let it do its thing for, you know, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10, and then you'll have nice, crisp, clear stamping that you're not going to smudge accidentally. Been there, done that. Got the pin. So I'm stamping a lot of these twice, and I'm just going to stamp all these labels. I think these labels turned out fabulous. The only thing I did was if the label was teal or aqua, I stamped in pink. If the label was pink, I stamped in aqua. But you could totally do like the same. You could do a tone-on-tone look, and that would look beautiful too. In fact, I kind of went back and forth with myself. I had a little discussion in my head about which way I wanted to do it. So now I'm taking my Tombow dual brush pens. These are 3 shades of pink, like a dark, bright pink, a mid-tone, and then a really light pink. And this is why I, particularly love Tombow dual brush pens, because they blend into each other. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in this Boy Mom sentiment, and I'm going to do it with these 3 shades of pink, and it's going to create an ombre look on my page, which I love. And I went with some really bright pink for this, because my title is I Am a Boy Mom, and I want that and my photo to be where your eye goes when you look at the page, because I know I'm going to add all of these other different wording. There's going to be a ton of wording on this page, and so I want to make sure that when you look at the page, if you're just looking quickly, you get it. You get what the page is about. This is me. I'm a boy mom. So I went ahead and I did ombre. I did the ombre letters. And now this is where I decided I want some splatter. I want a little bit more splatter just off to the side of my photo, because I feel like it just kind of stops, and I want it to be more cohesive. I want the splatters to kind of come around the photo a bit more. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of that spritz to the side. Not too much, just a little. And then I'm just going to let that dry. It dries fairly quickly. And I did splatter a big splatter where I really didn't intend to, but again, this is kind of going to be a messy collage type of a page, so I'm okay with that. And so now we're going to fill in. I'm going to start with these large labels. I'm going to kind of pop them in where I think that they will fit nicely. There are going to be gaps, but for the most part, I'd really like things to kind of fit in closely. And then we're going to use some little elements to fill in places where things do end up being kind of gappy. So I am going to pull this tag in. I wanted to pull just a little bit more. One of the little scraps of paper that I used had a nice floral design on it, and so I wanted to pull some more of those little floral designs around the page. I'm going to use, there is a ton of wording on this page, I will tell you that right now, and all of that wording is my journaling, and that's how I am. I don't have a ton of stuff to journal about on this page, and I feel like all of the wording and all the things that I chose for this page, all the elements I chose, worked as my journaling. They're all true, they're all exactly me, and that was what I wanted to convey. So I am pulling from the sticker sheet pieces that are circles, pieces that are chipboard. Yes, there's chipboard on this layout. Oy. Anyway, I'm kind of starting to embrace the chipboard, guys. This is like new to me. Okay. So totally, in retrospect, probably my entire title is Hello, I Am a Boy Mom, because I added that little chipboard arrow there that says hello, and I'm just sitting here thinking, really, that's part of my title. And then the rest are all the descriptions, all the things that being a boy mom is. And Cooper saying hello. Hello, Cooper. Hello. Hello, baby. All right, sorry, had to cuddle my dog a minute. It's a dog thing. If you're a dog mom, you know. Oh, dog mom, that should be a next stamp, right? All right, anyway, next thing, I will have these little faux leather, I have these little faux leather bows from Amy Tangerine's Shine On, and I love them. They're perfect for, it's like the only part of Shine On I got and liked, and someone had to give them to me for me to be like, oh, these are cool. Don't laugh. Anyway, these little faux leather bows are super cute, and I put 3 of them around. And now more wording. I told you, this is like a heavy typography layout. Very, I'm adding things like the bows. I'm going to add some sequins and a little surprise element at the end. And it's going to add so much. But those bows, because they're tone on tone, they're weightless. They don't have a lot of visual weight, but they add that tiny little details. This is a very detail-oriented layout. I was very, very kind of picky about my wording. I wanted just the right little strips. So these are also just little phrase strips that work with my journaling, that work with what I want to, the story I want to tell. And now we're going to add some sequins. So my plan with these sequins, I'm not just throwing them all over my page. I want them to draw, I want you to be able to follow the sequins from the top of the page down or from the bottom of the page up. So I'm a line. I want you to have a line of sequins that you can follow. That's going to take you through all of the different elements of the layout, all the different typography, the different things, and by putting them there, if you follow them, you will have, like, you can read everything, and it kind of brings your eye, helps the eye to kind of move all through the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm watching that line. I'm not just tossing them places. I'm really thinking about where it is that I am putting the sequence. Now, the last little element I want to add to these are these flowers. Again, other than the sequins and the Spiegel Mom scrap, or the sequins and the tiny little leather bows, these are everything, well, and the Boy Mom stamp, obviously. Everything is Cocoa Vanilla, and it's all from just different collections. I don't know. It's my scraps. It's my Cocoa Vanilla scraps. So I'm just adding these teeny tiny little flowers, and I'm just putting them everywhere. I think I end up adding 5, but again, same idea. The same idea here is that these flowers are put in different spots from the bottom of the layout to the top of the layout. They're like the bows or the sequins. They have that color on color look, so they provide some texture. They provide some detail. They provide some interest. Something your eye can kind of look at and go, wow, that's really cool. So this is an incredibly detail-oriented layout. It's also very pink and also very girly, because even though I'm a boy mom, I love my flowers. So, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead. This is going to be the end. This is the last little bit that I do, are these little flowers. And, yeah, I'm hacking them off their stems and gluing them down. Here are some close-ups for you. If you haven't yet, please run over, grab this beautiful stamp set. It's lovely. I've been having so much fun playing with it, and I hope you've been enjoying these layouts too. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!